My name is Rick Mannon, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing John Monet for swimming. As a young man, John Monet was told he wasn't cut out to be a swimmer. That observation didn't deter him in the slightest. In fact, it seemed to spur him on. Starting master swimming in his mid-50s, John has been swimming, training, and winning, proving the naysayers wrong. A two-time world champion with multiple international podium finishes, dozens of national championships, and countless provincial championships. In all strokes, John continues his competitive career with the goal of setting new records, breaking established records, and continuing his worldwide success. John, what drew you into your sport?
Well, I had to do something. I'm a child of the Depression, and during the Depression, living in Holland, there was no money whatsoever for me to enroll in any kind of organized sports. So, and I'm a very unlikely athlete. Anyway, when I turned 18, I decided to do something about it, and I took swimming lessons, and I liked it, and I joined a swimming club. Where I was promptly told that I was very enthusiastic, but lacking in talent. Anyway, I never qualified for any kind of championships at the time, and the only races open for anybody were open water races. So I did open water swimming quite a bit. Never won anything because I was a breaststroker, and only after I left Europe did they institute a classification for breaststroke. But I did pretty well. I liked the rough weather in the open sea, the North Sea, and I usually ended up in about the first 30% of all the swimmers. So I actually defeated a lot of freestylers doing that, but never any medals of any kind. In 1957, I came to Canada. I got married in 1960, raising a family, and then I got back into swimming in 1984. And the impetus to that was the World's Masters Games, which are being held in Toronto, the very first ones in 1985. I was very optimistic about what I could do, and I didn't even make top 10. And that's pretty well the story of my swimming career. But slowly but surely, I started to gain on the better swimmers. And probably around 1988, 1989, I had caught up to them. And as a matter of fact, at the second World's Masters Games in Aarhus, Denmark, we came in first on a relay team. So that was my first World's Masters Games championship. And from then on in, I can't even count the championships, provincial and national, that I've achieved. And but then finally the big breakthrough was in 2012 in Riccione, Italy, where I won the 200 meters breaststroke by a wide margin. I lost 100 meters by maybe just a finger digit, and I just stayed with it, and from then on, certainly in North America, I am the one to beat. Last year, I had 5 top 10 FINA performances, and the year before I had 3. In 2013, I finally beat a guy whom I first met in 1985. So that was over 20 years, and I took 2 out of 3 races from him. And that was just probably the high point of my swimming career. He was a former Olympic swimmer, and whenever you beat somebody of that caliber, yes, you're doing really well.
John, do you have any mentors?
I had one mentor in business, And it was kind of funny. I was trying to hire a new salesman for my business. And so I called his former employer. And he gave him kind of what I call a left-handed compliment. He said, well, I can tell you, he can read upside down. So now I go to the mentor. And I spoke to him and said, listen, this is the recommendation I got. You should hire the guy. So I did, and it was a good thing. So there was a business mentor. In swimming, no, but I didn't realize this until of late, that I have a fantastic support team. Everybody knows me here. All the people, John, when is your next swim meet? How did you do on your last swim meet? Etc., etc. I've always had good coaches. There was Hans Vitola, Melanie McKay, Dana Pelham, Gordon Prime, and now Jocelyn Jay, of course. I've been really fortunate in the people that surround me. And of course the support of your family, that's a big thing as well. Now my wife wasn't all that enamored with me doing all this stuff. And she never really told me, you know, how much she liked what I was doing. But she told everybody else. Anybody who would listen, she would say, oh, my John did this, my John did that. So yeah.
How has sport impacted your life?
It gives me a reason to get up in the morning, each and every morning. I think it has certainly kept me healthy and fit. I still take no prescription medicines of any kind. Yeah, and I think that's what sport does for a person. You have your physical setbacks occasionally because of injuries, but other than that, I think for me sports is it. Yeah, yeah.
What does it mean to you to be inducted into the Sports Hall of Recognition?
I can tell you that in just a few words. This is my Cooperstown. It's the top. Nothing I ever do or nothing that will happen to me in sports will ever top this. No, this is the zenith. And I got about 57 other synonyms for that, but we won't go into that.
Terrific. What advice would you share with the young aspiring athlete?
Go with your gut. Go with your gut. Go what you think you should do. Listen to the coaches, but go with your gut feeling. You may have to change. You may have to change from one sport to another one that you'll be better at. But go with your gut. And once you made up your mind, sink your teeth into it and you stay with it.
Great answer. John, is there anything else you'd like to say? Any other comments you'd like to make?
Well, again, this honor bestowed upon me, you know, that is, yeah, I said it earlier, this is the top. Nothing will ever top this. And I'm so fortunate that all the people that surround me and supported me, and even people from across the ocean, you know, that take an interest in me. And but one thing, there's one guy, and he ratted me out at the European Championships a few years ago. I wasn't supposed to compete, and I know who ratted me out because he was the only one that would benefit from me not competing. I'm going to meet this guy in Budapest, I'm quite sure. And he's gonna know that I'm gonna be there.
That's terrific.